So yeah, thank you. So thanks everyone. So basically, this course is all about Python full stack. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you about this course, how we have designed, and then about my experience in this field, and then basically how many students we have trained and how many batches we have trained and all those things. Okay. So first of all, we have designed this course completely basis on the job perspective. Okay, so it is parallel to the current job requirements, right? So it is Python full stack with AI, right? This course is all about. Okay, so my experience is I have 13 plus years of experience in this field. Okay, I have been working with Python, and I have worked with Azure Machine Learning Studio, and then I have worked with Azure Databricks, and then I worked with Visual Studio Code and all those things. Okay, and I worked with multiple libraries like NumPy, Pandas, PyDantic, OpenPy, Excel, and I'm working as a full stack developer now. Right. Okay. Let me deep down it. So first of all, let's talk about what is full stack. So full stack is nothing but, let's say, first of all, full stack is all about front end plus back end plus deployment. That is known as full stack development, right? So full stack means what? Front end. So under front end, what all technologies comes under front end? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, those three remains common, and inclusive of that, we are adding React.js as the framework, okay, which is currently trending in the market. And with respect to backend, we are using Python as a programming language, and for API build, we are using Flask and Fast API, and for databases, we are using MongoDB and MySQL, okay. And for deployment, we are using IIS for Windows, and for Linux server, we are using Apache Tomcat and Nginx servers and other things. Okay, so this is about what are the tech stack we will use in this course content, and how we go ahead, what all technologies we learn, right? And let's deep down now. Okay, let's deep down what exactly is this. Okay, so what is front end? So what is front end? If any website, if you open any website, let's say this is one website, let me open this website. Hope my screen is visible. This is one website we have built in. Okay, so here you can see the pictorial representation or the graphical representation of buttons, or the visual representation. Okay, the gatherings and everything, buttons or text or anything, right? These are all related to front end development. We use HTML. So HTML is the overview or the structure of the page. CSS means you can see the colors or styling. These are all built with the CSS. JavaScript is for responsiveness. Responsiveness means what? When you click on new report, what has to come next? Let's say, for example, if you go to reports, OSS report, when you click on this button, what should come next? When you click on create, how should it respond? When you click on this, how should it respond? So all the user related connectivity or user related connection with the backend, this JavaScript handles user responsive. Under that JavaScript, we use React.js as the framework to talk to backend framework, backend team. Okay. So backend means what? So under the backend, whatever you see, like when you retrieve the information, let's say for example, when you go ahead here and then click here, create it, let's say quarterly, and reporting period, I'll say 2025 hyphen 09 to 2025 hyphen 10. Okay, and I'll say Delhi main branch. um, Check the reports once. Okay, and generate CSV. Okay, it has generated the CSV. So all these are cancelled. So all these actions, whatever happens in the backend, that goes ahead with the our backend framework, which is we use Python, and we use Flask and Fast API, and we use Fast and Flask API for API building. Okay, Python is for programming language. All these are for backend. Okay, and the database, whatever the user information or the login information, all these things we store it in our databases. We use MongoDB and MySQL. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about why Python full stack, right? why we have to choose? We have different full stack thing, full stack environments. Mon stack, we have Python full stack, or we have Java full stack, we have .NET full stack. We have different full stacks. Why we have to choose Python full stack only? So one is Python is easy to learn and versatile as well. The other thing is Python easily connect with the AI tools or machine learning algorithms and AI related stuff. Right? Python can easily work with them, right? And apart from that, Python full stack has a huge demand. Python in the combination of React JS has a huge demand in the market, right? So basically, currently, if you can see, many most of the startups or most of the big MNCs as well, they are adopting to Python, and then they are trying to bring this stack into the picture now. Earlier, they used to use only .NET and Java full stacks, but now they are trying to adapt to this Python full stack technology so that they can mix with AI technologies very easily. Okay, okay. Now let's let's see the course content. What exactly we teach in the course Python full stack. Okay, and then we'll go for a shorter demo. I'll show you the code and I'll show you the working how it goes. So this is the table of contents. If you can see, the first line goes to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then we teach advanced JavaScript and bit of TypeScript as well. Okay, and then we go ahead with the React fundamentals, and we go ahead with the state management and styling, which is related to React, like properties or state manage Redux, all those things. And then we go ahead with the Python backend foundations, and then we'll go ahead with the databases and caching. We'll go ahead with the authentication and authorization, async KPIs and background jobs, real-time WebSockets, testing, and bit of containerization and bit of cloud fundamentals as well. So all these things we teach. So this is the tech stack we teach. If you can see, in HTML5 we teach, and CSS we teach, JavaScript, and we teach bit of TypeScript. We teach React.js and React router and React hooks like use state variables, use effect, and then Redux state managements as well. And then we teach functional and state components as well. Sorry, functional and class components as well. And then we'll teach about property management as well. Okay, all those things we teach in the React. Okay, and then we'll teach about Tailwind CSS as well. We use White as well. Okay, from the backend perspective, we use Python as the core programming language, and Fast API and Flask for API building. Pydantic is one of the library we use. SQL Alchemy is also one of the library to connect with the databases. Alembic we will not use, but I'll teach you how to use this as well. And we use, as I mentioned, we use MySQL, okay, in this course. And we teach about bit of Redis as well, caching, how the caching works, and how to store temporary caches and everything. And then these are authentication methods: JWT, Java based token, JSON web token, and OAuth 2, okay, RBAC, role based access control. And then we have these background jobs about salary and as well. Okay, and bit of like here you will deal about deployment. One is Docker. We use on premises Docker. Okay, and we teach about Git and GitHub as well, GitHub actions as well, commit, fallback, and everything. And about, as I mentioned, we use different types of servers: IIS, Nginx, and Tomcat, everything. But here we teach about IIS and Nginx as well. Okay, and this Terraform is all about infrastructure as code, a bit of introductory. And Prometheus Grafana, we teach about what it is, how it is being used, and we teach about CI/CD best practices as well, and logging, backup, and disaster recovery also we teach. And with respect to API in the Swagger, how to document in the Swagger or Open API, we teach that as well. We teach what is WebSockets, what the third party we use. And from the testing perspective, PyTest and Async.io, these are the libraries in the Python where we use, and in the React testing library also we teach. Okay, so this is what the tech stack we teach. Okay, so what we provide in the whole course content. So this course duration is will take around 3 to 4 months around. Okay, this course. And what we gonna do mainly basically is resume preparation. First thing is we concentrate on the current. We analyze your resume, whether it is fresher or whether it is experienced person, or whether it is 10 plus or 3 plus or 2 plus. Accordingly, we'll modify the resume and we'll suggest you the best according to the job market. Okay, and we'll provide you the environment where you can sit and you can learn. And under our guidance, we in the institute, we have our institute in Kundanandi where you can come and you can learn, where we will provide you guidance every day, right there. And the third thing we provide is placement support. We have tie up with different we used to get different requirements, so we will differ. Okay, the fourth thing, entire course current technically we will provide strong knowledge on from basics to advanced according to the needs, right? And at the end, we do with the capstone project as well. Once the all concepts are being clear and you practice everything, we do the capstone project as well. Okay, apart from that, we we will send your reference to our, like, few of the trainers have their referrals in few of the companies. So your job is not about your job is not only your responsibility, your job is our responsibility, right? So whether you are learning to upskill your program, or whether you are learning to switch your job, or whether you are learning to add some years of experience into it and do some advanced stuff. So for all these roles, we are covering this course content, keeping all these things in mind. And apart from that, we are giving how to use AI tools as well. Let's say, for example, from the front end perspective, you have Lovable, Bolt, and other things. How you can create a website, and how you can take that website in minutes, and all those things will teach you, right? Some AI tools usage as well. So this as a overall, this tech stack is not only um, benefited to you from a knowledge perspective. This will be benefited to you from your tech standpoint as well, right? Advanced tech standpoint. Okay, so these are the things what we give from our end. Okay, okay. So let's deep dive about the so this is the course content. Okay, so let's deep dive about the practical things. Okay, so first of all, let me talk about what we are gonna teach, and then we will customize this according to your needs as well. Let's say, for example, so a few people want let's say in Python, they want to go more deep into that, right? Let's say not only NumPy, Pandas, Pydantic, OpenPy, Excel, they want to do other libraries as well, like Matplotlib, Seaborn, okay, PyPlot, all these libraries also they want. So we can customize accordingly and fit into your number of hours designated per this course. Okay, we'll customize according to your needs and requirements as well, right? Okay, let's go ahead and discuss what how are we gonna plan and how are we gonna teach. Let's say first, the first thing what we do is we'll teach about what exactly is CC. If you see here, what the objective of teaching this course is all about to master web fundamentals, like the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and everything. And then we you develop modern front ends using React and TypeScript. Okay, and if you can see, everywhere they are using, everyone is using TypeScript and React. Okay, so we are in sync with the current requirement, job market requirements. Okay, and we'll build the robust APIs using Flask and Fast API. Okay, and we'll manage the data using MongoDB and MySQL. Okay, and as I mentioned, we are using authentication methods. Will secure the apps as well. So you'll get to know how to scale the performance as well, how to automate the quality as well, and how you can deploy into the Docker and other things. You will learn that as well. Okay, you will integrate with the third party APIs as well. So we will teach you the API integration as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's discuss fast like what are we going to teach. Okay. So in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, if you can see all basics starting from semantic structures, forms, accessibility, SEO basics, modern tags and everything. And from CSS point of view, box model or flexbox, grid or responsive design, animations, colors, variables, media queries, etc. From JavaScript, variables, functions, DOM manipulation, events, async await, fetch API, local storage, map, filter, reduce, all those things. And browser dev tools, inspect, debug, profile, audit accessibility. And from Git basics, as I mentioned, commits, branches, pull requests, code reviews, everything. And we'll do one multi-page static site, okay? And then we go ahead with the advanced JavaScript and TypeScript, okay? So you'll know about what are arrow functions, what are destructuring of arrows, arrays, and what is our spread operator, rest operators, classes, modules, error handling, and in the asynchronous JS, I think you will get to know about what are promises, what is async await, what are error propagation, all those things. And in the TypeScript also, you'll get to know what are the basic types, interfaces, how it deals with the strict mode, how it deals with the strict mode and everything. And in the tooling, you'll know about ESL in, okay, NPM package manager and all those things. Okay, and then we'll deep dive into the React fundamentals. React, as I mentioned, React is a framework, JavaScript framework. Okay, we'll start about what is React, what are the function components, what are class components, what is JSX, what are props, what is state, what are use state, what are use effect, those are hooks. Okay, what are rerouting, which is React router, client side routing, nested routes, route parameters. What are forms, I mean controlled inputs or validation or error messaging, how the user experience changes, loading states or empty states or feedback. Okay, and then we go ahead with the state management and styling. State management is all about Redux toolkit. Okay, Redux state management and Tailwind CSS. Okay, and then we'll jump into the from week 5 onwards. We'll jump into the Python. Okay, so in Python you will deal with what is Python and what are print statements, commands, how to use NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Pydantic, and all those libraries. And then we'll go ahead with the Fast API and Flask. Okay, and API design also will deal with the REST principles. What are REST principles? Resource modeling, status codes. What are databases? Right? How we are using what all? How to write a query? Different queries in MySQL. Everything. And in the authentication authorization, we teach about JWT tokens, OAuth tool, right? And where to use what, RBAC role-based access controls, okay? And then rate limiting factors, rate limiting features, CSRF like security features, scores, okay, all these things we teach. And then async KPIs and background jobs also like ready, salary, and everything also we teach, okay? And then we go ahead with the deployment and containerization and everything, cloud fundamentals, CI/CD pipelines, okay? All these things we'll teach, and we'll do with capstone project as well, okay? So let me go ahead to the project. So this is our front end basically. This is the structure we have created for one of the uh, program. So if you can see here, this is the React project. First time I'll teach about front end, and then we'll go with the back end. Okay. So okay, so if you can see, so this is one of the product we have built with. Okay, and here if you can see, these are the node modules. Whenever you install via using npm install, you will get these node modules. Okay, and then you have src. Src means all functional components whatever we have created here, it should be everything inside src. If you can see under the components we have used different react charts. You see we have used bar chart, we have used this, we have imported this from react chart.js. Okay, this is, there is a difference between constant and let. Okay, let means you can change it, constant means it is constant, which cannot be changed, which cannot be, this is immutable. Okay, so like this we are using bar chart and we are using donut chart. Okay, this is for charts and this is modal page. Okay, so there is a difference between JS and JSX. JS means it's only JavaScript. JSX means JavaScript x HTML. It means you can write JavaScript plus HTML code both in the inside the JSX. So if you have seen, we have imported first. This is all import commands. Imported use state and use effect variables from there. Okay, and then we have declared the constants here. Use state means it is to declare the sample first initial values. Okay, and so use state is used to declare sample initial values, and then use effect is used to gather the data. If you see, 1 minute. Uh, this return block, whatever is there is, so everything after the return block it should be only HTML code. This is how the structure is defined. Okay, we follow. After return block it is HTML code. Okay, just this 1 minute. Yeah. So if you can see, yeah. So then there we have initialized and here we are passing the values. Okay. Similarly, we have other things as well. Okay. So initially, first we are what we are doing. We are importing the all the modules from the React, and then we are declaring the constant variables. Okay, and then after the declaration, we are using the arrow function. Okay, this is the arrow function. This is the name, value. These are the parameters what we are passing. Okay, and this is inside an array. Okay, list. Okay, so like this we deal about we'll do react, we'll do this type of coding in the course. Okay, the projects, if you see. Okay, and we have different pages. Here we have inventory management, we have invoice management. This is basically dashboard. Okay, these are all import, these are all we have imported from the internal things till here. These are all internal. Here in the, we have components. This use state and use effect we have imported from React, and these are all imported from the functional components. Okay, and this is use state means this is for initializing. It means the initial value which is zero, which is stored in the use state of zero. Okay, and then use effect means use effect is used to retrieve the data, or you can say fetching the data. As I mentioned earlier, use state is to use to manage the initialized variables or the variable counters. Use effect is used to fetch or the gather the data. Okay, and then if you go here, so app.jsx is the main file where you will call each and every. This is the main program. Okay, this is all we have. Now two lines means we have commented it out. Comment out means it will not run the code. Okay, so if you see, here it will be, so here as I mentioned, see router, I have React router we have mentioned, right? Browser router as router, route and routes. Okay, use navigate. So we have importing these four modules from React Router DOM. Okay, this is React Router where you will use for navigations. Okay, use state and use effects, as I mentioned, use state is to initialize the variables, use effect is to fetch or gather the data. Okay, so if you see here in the main, we are importing first all the modules, and then we are creating what has to be displayed and what has to be run. Okay, so here if you see after the return block, it should be HTML. These are all role-based axis. What we are for this path, portfolio management, the role has to be this. And for this path, this is okay. These are all routing. Okay, these are all routing for admin routing for this routing. Get role-based axis. Okay, and yeah, you are. If you don't export this, you can't import this. Okay, so don't forget to export everything. So wherever you are using, you can see export. Without export you can't import. Okay, so without export you can't import. These are the small things, but it will make a huge impact. So app.jsx is the main file where you are when you run npm run or npm build, it will run. Okay, so here main.jsx also is there. And then git ignore, it means what all to ignore. Here it will be there, what all modules or what all packages to ignore. And package.json, whatever the libraries or modules we have installed or called, what are the versions we have, each module that is there here. Okay, and this is the tailwind css and readme. We will have the project information, what this project is about. If you see react plus white. Okay, this is the react project we will do. These are everything we will teach, whatever we have used here in the real time we will teach you. Okay, let's go ahead for the python thing. So yeah, so python if you see, so python also if you see, so this is one of the project we are doing it for one of the customer. Okay, so import means that all the libraries we are importing from fast API. We are importing fast API, API router, and everything. And then pydantic, and then logging. RE means regular expression. PyMongo is to deal with the MongoDB. Sys means system. OS means operating system. IO means input output. And then date time. Okay, and pydantic as well. So like this, we are dealing with fast API. Okay, if you can see. Okay, let me explain this one. Uh, so here, if you can see, what we are trying to do here is we are converting this. We are building this API and forming the Excel, right? And the data is to be in the Excel format. So that is why we are using OpenPy Excel. Okay, OpenPy Excel. OS, math, date time, calendar. OpenPy Excel is to build to frame the Excel with the data, whatever we are doing it. Okay, so okay, I think this is it. If you need any further information, we can go ahead and we can uh, tell you. Okay, so yeah, this is all about Python full stack, and I think if you need a detailed demo or anything, we can further discuss on this. Okay, thank you.